If you want to be a deliberate instead of a default creator in your life, you need to move up the emotional guidance scale. If you want more positive experiences in your life, you need to learn how to be more grateful, especially in times where you seem like you cannot really find things to be grateful for, where literally your life is falling apart. I believe we all have those days where literally everything goes wrong, like one thing after the other. First, you get up in the morning and you hit your toe on, I don't know, your shelf, and then you go and you want to drink your coffee and you burn your tongue, and then maybe you are trapped in traffic, and then just one thing after the other is happening. Sometimes, especially in times where we feel like we want to break out, we want to change our life, we want to attract better things in our lives, sometimes, especially then, everything seems to just go wrong. And maybe you lose your job, or there's so many bills coming, or you have to make a payment that you didn't see coming, or whatever. That could be happening, literally anything, right? So sometimes in your life, when you want to change, but you're not really making decisions on how you can change, life will happen to you and take things from you, whether it is people or your job or opportunities, in order for you to wake up. Because when you really want something, like when you really crave change in your life, you cannot be confused about things changing in your life, because that's literally what you ask for. So sometimes when things are falling apart, it just means that there are better things falling together for you. If you, for example, lost your job, and you're thinking like, oh my God, how should I pay the next bill? Like, why is this happening to me? Why me? Did you maybe think about that you actually do not like your job and that you maybe wanted a new job? How do you want to find a new job if you're not looking for one, if you haven't even quit your old job? Like, sometimes those things happen to you to put you in a place, to put you in a position for you to choose better, for you to make new decisions. So how can you be in those times, stay positive and stay focused on the things that you want to create, instead of being angry on the things that are happening around you where you feel like you have no control over? Because now is the time to take your control back and to move up in that emotional guidance scale for you to feel better and to also attract more blessings into your life. Hi guys, my name is Alina and welcome back to my channel to another video. Today I'm sharing everything with you today and some amazing tips, and I have a little surprise box here. And no, it's not Prada inside, but there's something else. So make sure to stay until the end, because this is going to be an amazing tip for you, especially for Christmas time. And if you're maybe looking for a gift for somebody, like a very cute personal gift, so make sure to stay until the end. I already talked about that if you want to attract better things in your life, you need to be grateful and happy now. You need to feel good now. But most people have a problem with that because they look around towards their circumstances in their lives that they are not happy about. Maybe they don't have the job that they like, they have not enough money in their bank account, they are not maybe in a fulfilling relationship, or they constantly attract the wrong people into their lives. And I get it, sometimes it can be hard to, especially in those moments where you feel like everything is falling apart and you're feeling super trapped and super out of control, to get the feeling of control back and to find things to be grateful for. So I wanted to give you guys a few tips on how you can stop resisting your blessings, because sometimes even when life seems to happen towards you, it is actually happening for you. And in order for you to wake up and realize that and to take back your control, because you probably literally trained yourself to think like you have no control in your life and life is just happening. You need to make sure that you get that control back and you stop resisting your blessings, because you're subconsciously maybe denying them by thinking everything is happening to me, not for me, right? You need to make a shift in your perspective and how you look at things. How do you do that? By actually choosing to be in a constant state of appreciation and gratitude. Because then you actually choose how you want to react to things. Because yes, of course, if something bad is happening, like you lose your job, for example, you could be like all frustrated and depressed and be like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? And you could whine and you could vent to people and complain and be like, oh my God, of course this happens to me. I deserve to be not happy. Like all those limiting beliefs that you speak out, you can make a different decision. Like, you are the creator of your life. It's not happening by default. You are the creator. So whatever you call into your life, it is something that you maybe subconsciously wanted to experience. Ouch! Maybe I attracted this. Okay. What was I saying? So maybe something that you're experiencing right now that is not making you happy, maybe subconsciously you actually attracted this thing into your life because you were constantly worried, you're constantly fearful, you're constantly like complaining about things, and you're constantly in a negative state of vibration, because the universe is always giving you the things that you focus on the most, how you feel. Like, it will give you matching energy, matching vibration. And there's not just only the law of attraction, by the way, there's also the law of assumption. So even if you want to attract better and you make the decision, okay, from now on I want to attract positive things into my life, but subconsciously you expect bad things to happen to you because that's what you're so used to because of your past, how you created things in your life. And now you're assuming, well, if I'm, for example, too long too happy, that's what I'm gonna get. Like, I will have a negative experience because life can't be happy all the time. So that is what you assume. So the law of assumption will also give you that experience. Law of attraction, all those universal laws, you really have to study them and you have to make sure how to use them for your advantage. There's plenty of videos on YouTube on how you can learn about the law of attraction, all the universal laws. And I'm telling you, you have to really study all of them, all of the laws, because every single one is connected to each other. So you have to make sure that you're using all of them for the law of attraction to actually get what you really want. So once you start to make that decision that you want to attract better in your life, and you choose a state of appreciation and gratitude instead of venting, complaining, being frustrated, and just talking about your misery in your life and thinking about the misery in your life, you choose a different outcome because you choose to react differently. Life is 10% of what actually happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. Because imagine somebody is sad because they lost their job, right? So they think, okay, I lost my job, but I actually didn't like that job. So maybe now is the time to really find something that makes me happy. So that person has a positive reaction from a negative outcome. So now they can choose on finding something that they actually do like. So for example, your boyfriend breaks up with you and you're like, oh my God, I'm so sad. I really love that person and I'm so sad right now. How should I ever be happy? Blah, blah, blah. You can choose to stay sad and frustrated and talk things like all men are trash, all men are cheaters, all men are evil. But guess what you're going to attract from now on? Men who are cheaters, men who are evil, men who are trash. So if you want to avoid men being trashy to you, which is literally just your experience and your perspective, because you can choose with who you want to interact. If you choose to interact with somebody that is constantly giving you red flags, that is constantly not treating you very well, that is constantly not really giving you what you want, then you need to change your standards. You need to make sure that you will let that person go, and then you won't have that low quality experience. Your standards, your high standards will protect you from low quality experience. So it's not that all men are trash, but you just accept that behavior and you allow that person to treat you bad. It's not them, it is you. So you need to make sure that you change your perspective and that you change how you behave around people and what you allow and not allow into your life. So instead of being like all sad and being, putting all men in a box, you could be like, great, now that I lost this person, yes, it is hurtful, and I allow myself to be sad and I allow myself to heal, and I ask myself, what did go wrong in that relationship and how do I want the next person to be? What do I actually want in my life? And you start to go inwards and you ask yourself those questions and you start to heal instead of distracting yourself with other people. And you just do some me time, self-care, love yourself first. And then you will automatically attract that person that is reflecting that love that you already give yourself. So you see, you can always have negative things happen in your life. Life is just happening sometimes, but you can always choose how you want to react to it. And that is your power. You always have the control. Sometimes you're just not aware of that control because you're so focused on all these other circumstances instead of actually forcing on your own source energy. And your own source energy, the more you are connected with yourself and the more aligned you are, the more you are light and love. Because your source is love. Your source energy is love. And the more you are away from that source, that energy source, the more you are maybe frustrated and angry and depressed. So that means you're not connected with yourself. That means you're not aligned with your source energy. You want to be aligned with your source energy, you need to change a few little small behaviors here and there to adjust towards your source energy. The first method on how we can do that is actually setting your emotional set points, right? I already talked in one of my previous videos about Ask and It Is Given, the book by Esther and Abram Hicks. And this book talks a lot about, the emotional guidance scale and how your feelings are literally in a scale and you can choose to move up or move down that scale. So for example, if you're very frustrated, that's obviously a very low vibration. So this book is teaching you how you can move up that scale and how you can become more happy, more fulfilled, more grateful. And this teaching, what I'm teaching you right now, is actually from that book. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely make sure to get the audiobook or the normal book and to read it yourself, because this is teaching me a lot. And it's really good to repeat those things constantly and to read those kind of books. Guys, you need to get into reading. You need to get into audiobooks. You need to be resourceful and actually take advantage of the things that are out there. Start to look around. Whenever you're feeling not happy or not, grateful, or you're feeling frustrated, start to look around. Start to look in your environment and find things where you can focus on and find some beauty in it. It can be objects, it can be people, it can be whatever you want. It just needs to be something that is maybe aesthetically pleasing to you, where it's easy for you to find something good in. For example, if I'm sad at home and maybe I'm crying because I don't know, whatever happens, you know what I usually always do? I look at my dog and I just watch her. And whatever she does, if she's sleeping peacefully, if she's playing with her little monkey thing, or if she's, I don't know, just looking super cute, or I'm just cuddling her, it immediately makes me feel better. And I'm starting to say things like, I'm so grateful for having a dog. I'm so grateful I can cuddle her. She's so sweet how she's laying there. And I start to think positive thoughts about her. And that makes me feel good, because thinking positive thoughts about even other things, regardless of yourself and how you feel, it will adapt your feelings. It will reflect into your feelings. Find things to feel great about. If you're, for example, you're waiting in line and you're super annoyed because you're waiting in line and the line doesn't seem to go forward and you're just waiting and sitting there, instead of being super annoyed and super frustrated, look around and become aware of things like, oh, this is a very clean building. I really like the building. Oh, the floor looks nice. You can literally find anything. Start to say things of gratitude and appreciation towards other people. If you're trapped in traffic and you could be super frustrated sitting in traffic and not being on time at work, you could think like, wow, I'm so grateful for my car. It brings me from point A to point B. And I'm so grateful because I'm not standing in the cold. I'm actually sitting in my warm car and it has, heating on and I'm feeling cozy. And you could list things that make you feel appreciative of the situation that you're in. Even if you're coming from a place of annoyance or boredom or tiredness or frustration, you can even find in those situations things to appreciate about that situation that you're in by just simply becoming aware, looking around and focusing on one object for a little bit longer. Going for a walk and it's, I don't know, very cold, maybe it's snowing and you hate the cold, and you just put your hand like this and there's a little snowflake on your hand and you were like, oh, this is a cute snowflake. It's so tiny and wow, this nature, what nature does, it's actually amazing. You can find beauty everywhere. You just need to look for it. So I don't understand people who constantly want to vent and complain and be miserable. Are you the Grinch? You can always find beauty in something. You can always find happiness within focusing on things that are aesthetically pleasing, that are beautiful, and you can choose how you see the world. It is your perspective. And this is truly just a habit. The more you will have situations in your life where you'll be like, oh, let me look around and let me find things that are beautiful. The more you do that, the better you will feel. And the more you feel better, the more you would want to do that. And then you will feel even better because you're doing it even more. And this is just such a great habit of finding things that you are grateful for in a situation where you're not feeling good in, to really change your perspective and your way of feeling just by simply being aware. It is so simple, and you just need to repeat it more often in order for you to become a habit. Sometimes, yes, you can allow yourself to feel bad, but you don't want to be in a maintained state of sadness, frustration, and depression. Every time that you feel appreciation and gratitude, you are literally telling the universe and God, more of this, please. And at the same time, if you are venting, if you're complaining and you're focusing on negativity, you are also telling the universe, more of this, please, because that is the energy that you put out. And the universe doesn't care about what you want, what you don't want. It just gives you the matching vibration, the matching energy, and the matching frequency of what you're always thinking about. So find ways, like your day is filled with reasons to be grateful for. You just have to find them. Okay, but what if there's always negative people in your environment? They bring you down, they attack you, they're mean to you, they bully you. For example, you're in school and people constantly mock you, bringing you down, or maybe in your family, you have very negative parents, or you are in an environment that is really toxic. That can be the case, right? But do you need to feel happy about them? No, you don't need to feel happy about them. You don't need to be grateful for them. But what you could be grateful for is be appreciative of the fact that you are consciously aware of them being so negative. And you can choose to react to that, what they're doing. For example, if they mock you or they try to bully you, don't take it personal. Don't take toxicity personal, because these people are so toxic within themselves already. You don't need to adapt to that. You can choose whether you want to take something personal or not. So there's also one other book, it's called The 4 Agreements, and there's basically 4 agreements that you have to fulfill in your life to be more free, to be more happy, to be more grateful. The first one is be impeccable with your words. That means do not say words of hate, do not say words of negativity. Be impeccable with your word means to truly choose carefully the words that you're saying towards yourself and towards others, because every single word has a specific vibration. So if you're speaking words of envious, hatred, jealousy, that is very negative. So it makes you feel very bad. So if you're speaking words of love, appreciation, of fulfillment and desire, like positive words, it will give you also a different kind of feeling. The second law is to not make any assumptions, because everyone lives in their own different reality. So if you assume somebody to think or feel a certain way towards you, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're right. Sometimes you're so trapped in your own reality by thinking maybe everyone wants your, everyone has bad intention towards you. All men are trash. Like, these assumptions, basically, they do nothing good to your life. They just make you unhappy. So stop making those assumptions and stop to put people in a box and just be like, all men are trash, all women are trash. Stop saying those things, because that is what you're gonna experience. Sometimes maybe if you have negative communication, you can even ask questions to make sure that you're not misunderstanding something and just assuming that person wants to attack you and hurt you in a negative way. Maybe sometimes that person didn't even mean it the way. So rather ask a question. Don't make any assumptions. The third thing is to not take anything personal, because everyone, as I said, lives in their own reality, and you do not need to, you do not see their reality and they cannot see your reality, because everyone lives in their own, and everyone has a different understanding of life, a different understanding of being, a different understanding of behaving. So you cannot take anything personal. If somebody is attacking you and they constantly bring you down, rather ask yourself, why is that person so mean? Maybe that person is very miserable inside. Maybe that person is just seeing the world in a very negative way, and that is why they constantly assume that everyone is evil and that everyone just does bad things. But that's not true. That doesn't need to be true. Everything is just true what you believe. So if you do not take things personal, nobody can hurt you, because you decide what you want to let close to you. And so even if people are bringing you down or they bully you, of course, it kind of makes you feel bad, but you can choose if you want to believe them or not. If you know what's true about you, and that is why it's so important to get to know you and to understand yourself and to practice self-love, because the more you do that, the more you will be confident about yourself and the more you get to know you. And if you know yourself, if you know your own being, if you know your character, your heart, like, you know what's true and what's not. So even if somebody would tell you, oh, you're fat and you're ugly and you're stupid, well, you know that you're not fat, that you're not ugly, that you're not stupid, so why would it hurt you? And the fourth agreement is to always do your best. Within those agreements, to practice them well and to just do your best every single day, because then you can also not, be so miserable all the time, being like, oh my God, I'm not there where I want to be yet, and maybe today I had a bad day. Like, you don't need to worry, because every single day you will give your best, and sometimes your best will be 100%, sometimes your best will be 50%, sometimes your best will be 80%, sometimes it will be 150%. Every single day can be different depending on your feelings, but you can change and guide your emotions up the emotional guidance scale to feel better, so you can give more of your best every single day. What if you're constantly in that environment of toxicity, negative people, like your parents treat you badly, your friends, or people in your environment are bringing you down? You can choose how you want to react to it, first of all. So you have the control. By stop thinking so much about how others maybe feel or think about you, start to feel and think about what you feel is important to you, what you like about yourself. And be confident to show that. The only thing that you have to do is giving more importance about how you feel about yourself and about the world, about your reality, about others, than other people thinking about you. And if you have negative friends, you can decide if you want to spend time with them or not. Like, do you know that? You can actually say no. You do not need to be a people pleaser. You do not need to spend time with people and give your energy to people that you don't want. And the only reason why you have low quality experiences is because you choose and allow these people to be in your life. And if you see, like, you have to just practice to see one red flag and just immediately say no. And your intuition will always guide you. Like, your intuition is your inner guidance system that tells you, no, this person's not good for me. Yes, this person, I want to be with them. And your intuition is always right. You just need to practice to listen to it. That you could say, I'm so happy and so grateful about all this amazing, empowering, supportive people in my life. And by saying that, you spend more time with yourself, you practice more self-love, and you get to know yourself. You will then attract people that will mirror that. There was a time in my life where I was constantly being with people who were constantly drinking, partying, just doing things that, yes, I was doing at that time, but then I made the decision, well, I don't want to do this anymore. So if my friends back then didn't want to elevate with me because I wanted to focus on, more productive things for myself, doesn't mean that I judge them or that I don't like them anymore. It just means that I want to do different things with my time. I learned about online business. I learned about positive mindset shifting, about personal development, and I spent all my time with that. So that means I cut some people off because they didn't want to do that with me. So if I don't want to be associated with one thing, I want to be associated with a different thing, then I have to be willing to maybe be alone for a little while and to be okay with that. And then once you elevate your vibration and your mindset and you shift your way of thinking and being and feeling, you will start to naturally attract better things in your life. I got to know so many people through my online business. I now have friends all around the world. Literally, I could go to any country and I would know people there because I attracted them into my life. You can choose your friends. You don't need to spend time with people that you don't want to spend time with. And even with your parents, you can choose to love them from a distance. You can agree on the fact that maybe they're very negative, but they just know what they know. You can show compassion and kindness. You don't need to hate them. You can love them from a distance. You know what you allow in your life, and if you take on their advices, whether they tell you need to have a job, you need to go to a 9-to-5, that is the only way, but maybe you wouldn't want to pursue entrepreneurship and business. Your parents will never be able to give you the advice that you want for that because they maybe haven't experienced entrepreneurship yet. So the only way that they know is 9-to-5. And that is fine. You can show them compassion for maybe they just want your best and they don't know what they don't know. Your parents can only act based on what they know. If they're not even consciously aware of that, they're always so negative and they don't even know how they can create their reality, it is making sense that you do not get the kind of advice that you want from your parents, because they don't even know what to, like, how to do better. And if they don't want to change, I mean, you can tell them, hey, you know, like, this is how you can also look at things. But if they don't want to change, you cannot force to change them. So that means get your distance, know that whatever is coming from them, you do not assume, you do not take things personal. You're not hating them. You show them compassion and kindness for them only knowing what they know. And that's how you handle it. That's how you're able to be in a negative environment and still choose how you want to react to it and not let it close to you. To everyone telling me that, you know, feeling good and good experiences are a matter of luck and coincidence, you're wrong. You're definitely wrong. Appreciation and gratitude has nothing to do with luck or coincidence. It has to do with how you want to look at things and your perspective and how you choose to react. Stop worrying about tomorrow. Life is not about tomorrow. Life is about today. And if you choose to feel good today, you will automatically create a better tomorrow because you're already feeling good today. And you shift your focus from tomorrow to today because you can't control tomorrow. The only way of you controlling tomorrow is by controlling today in a way of feeling good and feeling appreciative and changing your vibrational energy. And when you change that, you will automatically attract better in your future. So never forget that you are always molding your energy. You're always able to shift the energy that is around you, that is within you, and how you perceive your reality and how you can create your reality, because you are the creator. So now the last thing, guys, my little surprise that I wanted to give you. Call this the gratitude box or the little happy box, okay? So this is a cute idea for yourself to find a pivot point. When you're feeling sad or when you're feeling angry and you're feeling frustrated, to have a pivot point for yourself to change the way how you feel by focusing on something else. And if for you it's very hard to start focusing on something else and to find beauty in things, okay, maybe you're a very negative person, okay, but this can really help you. Choose a little box, right? You can buy one, maybe you have one at home. You can take this and you can sit yourself down in a moment where you feel very happy, very appreciative, and you can start write little letters to yourself or little affirmations. What you can do is not just putting some happy affirmations in here, some, you know, words of gratitude, things that that's making yourself happy, but you can also cut out things from maybe a magazine or, I don't know, something that makes you happy. Maybe cut out a little you could cut out a picture from your favorite perfume and you can spray that picture and you can put it in there. Or if you want to live in a specific building or in a specific house, you can cut that out and put it in here. Like, just find things that make you happy and things that you want to create in your life. And whenever you feel miserable or sad or angry, you take this little box, you open it, and you put, you know, you go here and you take something out and you focus on this and you read it or you look at it or you smell it and you start to feel happy. Maybe we'll put a smile on your face. And for example, if you're still looking for a present for Christmas, this is a great way to, you know, maybe gift this to somebody. And what you can do is you get a box as well. You put some really nice things, you know, you put some paper and you write down things that you appreciate about that person, right? Like maybe they're a good listener, or maybe you always have the most fun with them and their humor is great. Like, you can write down things that you appreciate about them, some small compliments, and you put them all in here, maybe with some, I don't know, chocolate or whatever, and you give that to them on Christmas and you tell them this is your happy box. So every single time that you feel, you know, frustrated, maybe this person been through a lot this year, and now you can give this to them and tell them every single time when you feel sad, I want you to remind yourself of who you are and what I personally think about you, so that you don't tear yourself down, because this is what I think about you. You give this to them every time they feel sad, they put out something and they read, I appreciate you for being such a good listener, and they will feel happy. Let's get into it. Let's read some of those. All right, let's see what's on here. Okay. I understand that wealth and money are easy to attract, and I understand that I am worthy and deserving of blessings and to be always treated well. I see abundance flow into my life with ease. I look around and I see how blessed I truly am. To see the beauty around me makes me so happy. I am abundant, safe, and loved in the entire universe. God protects me and all is well in my world. I feel happy, wealthy, and abundant. I feel blessed and loved. I always feel protected and taken care of. Just little small messages every single day, like little objects, little things that, pictures that make you laugh and make you smile. Like you can even print pictures from your favorite holiday or from your best friend. The last thing I want to share with you is answering a question from one of my subscribers. She asked me why self-awareness is better than ignorance, because sometimes, yes, it is easier to ignore something, to not deal with it because maybe it's uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, it doesn't work on the long term. Everything that you try to suppress and ignore will come up later. I think it's better to deal with one negative thing once, or to deal with one negative thing over and over and over again. Say you walk through a corridor and there's all these glass doors and glass windows, and you walk and you're looking around, you're looking on the floor, you're not looking around yourself. Walk with your head against the door because you were looking at the floor and you were not aware of your environment, and you just walk against this door, this glass door, because you didn't even see it. Next time you walk this corridor, would you rather look again at the floor, or would you focus on your environment and look around in your environment and be aware of your environment to not again hit your head on the door? I mean, every single person that has common sense and logic can tell, well, I don't want to hit my head again. I want to be aware of my environment. So I'm gonna look up and look around to open the door properly and to not walk against it. It's the same thing. Maybe it's a bad example, but it's the same thing with anything that you have to deal with in life. You can choose if you want to deal with it one time and properly handle it, or if you want to be unaware, consciously like hiding and trying to not focus your issues and trying to not work through your trauma, your healing things, always exposed to it over and over again. If you're always attracting the wrong people, maybe it is better for you to be aware of those things in your reality and stop ignoring them, stop procrastinating them, because the only thing that you do with that is you hurt yourself. You're happily self-aware. It is to be able to be uncomfortable one single time instead of being uncomfortable your entire life. And I'm telling you, the more you get used to being uncomfortable, the more you get used to working through your issues, the faster it will also go in the future. So for me, for example, like I had a time where I was not able to deal with any of my issues, any of my problems. But then when I decided to go the personal development route and I started to work on my issues, now when I get a problem, I'm so much better able to handle it. I'm not reacting like frustrated and angry and like throwing things around like whatever. Like I'm not bursting out in tears. Like now I'm being able to observe, be the observer, distance myself from that situation, not get emotionally too attached to it, and be like, hey, I don't like the situation, but maybe this is happening to teach me something. So what can it teach me? And I ask myself those questions. Maybe I journal, I write this down. And instead of being overly emotional and being depressed, like, oh my God, what is happening to me? I'm thinking about the bigger cause of it, the bigger purpose of this situation teaching me something. So you will get better at handling your problems as well. It will not always be so hard. I'm telling you, it will not. It will get better with time, with how you practice, because how you even handle problems, how you react to things, and your behavior towards it will also adapt and get better with time. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel to bring this channel up even more. And I'm so grateful for all of you guys listening. I love you guys all so much. Sending you love and healing. And I see you guys in my next video. Bye.